Are you boarding a flight to the US from India for the first time? Here are some of the things that you should know and be prepared for. Hey there, this is Mani Karthik. I'm a professional blogger from India. I quit my job in the US to get back to India and follow my passion, which happens to be blogging. In my daily struggle in life to get better, smarter, and richer, I've made several mistakes and learned a lot. Today, I shared everything that I've learned on my blogs and this channel. If you like this video, do subscribe to my channel, but don't do it now. Decide after watching this video. So, preparing for your flight. Couple of things. Assuming that you're a first-time traveler to USA and you're either on a visit or work visa, here are some things that you should know before boarding a plane to USA. Number one is arrive at least 3 hours early to the airport. Report at kiosk. A kiosk is basically the desk where your airline staff sits. So as soon as you get inside the airport, find out where your airline staff is. For example, if you're flying with Emirates, find out where they are and report. Sometimes the boarding time may not be announced, but still it's a good idea to let them know that you are around. Because sometimes things change or delays may come, and it's always good for them to know that you are waiting somewhere around. And I said 3 hours because you need to complete security check, baggage check-in, etc. And it always takes a lot of time. And especially if it's peak time, there shall be a lot of delays. So arrive early to avoid any unnecessary tension. Number two is get currency exchange done, preferably outside of the airport, as the ones in the airport are usually a rip-off. Which means that if you're exchanging, let's say, 500 rupees to dollars, you're likely to get a better rate in exchange outside of the airport. At the airport, you should always show them your passport, your flight tickets to be able to get the exchange money to you. Oh, and also, legally, you're not allowed to take rupees outside of India, so it's better to get it converted. Some people take rupees in small amounts for like taxi change, etc. And that is usually okay, but I would recommend against taking any large amount of money outside of India with you when you're traveling. The reason is because when the demonetization came into practice, the NRIs who took money with them were stuck because they couldn't get it exchanged anywhere outside of the country. So you don't want, similar situations. Number three is make sure that your baggage don't have any items that aren't allowed. Like for example, seeds, plants, food items or weapons, etc. If at all there is something like seeds or achar or something like that, make sure you declare it in the custom form that you get just before getting down at your destination airport. Because if they find out that you're carrying any such stuff and you haven't declared it to them, it will result in delays and a lot of explanation, which is, best avoided. Number four is have your local contact and address in the USA memorized. It could be a friend, an employer, the hotel address where you're staying, anything. Because you might have to share it with the airline folks just before getting on the plane and also maybe at the immigration. So keep it memorized. Number five is get a pen because you would need it to fill the immigration form which will be handed over to you in the plane just before landing. And it's always crazy finding a pen in the plane. Number six is have your important documents like passport, visa copies, address proof, emergency contact numbers, etc. with you. Number seven is get a book or preferably 2 or 3 books because you will have a lot of time in hand for reading. Number 8 is charge up your mobile phone and other accessories because you won't be allowed to take power banks with you in the airplane. And sometimes it depends on the specification of your power bank, but why take a risk? Number 9 is take a photo or scan your important documents like I mentioned above and send it to your email so that in case you lose it, you can always go back to your email and show it as reference. Number 10 is if you have health issues, like for example, migraine or something like that, make sure you carry your medicines with you. But very important is that you should also carry the prescription you have from the doctors with you. Or sometimes, they can take away the medicines from you. Number 11 is whenever you find toilets, just go pee because you might not find another one when you actually need to go. So make use of it. Number 12 is carry a neck pillow with you to rest your head because there's a lot of time in the flight and you would need it to rest your neck and your head. And of course you can buy it from the airport, but it's usually pricey. It goes $25 or $15 above. Number 13 is make sure that you have a very travel-friendly clothing, like for example a cargo with a lot of pockets or something like that because you would need them to keep things inside. Number 14 is that if you have a stopover at some Dubai or Hong Kong like airports, make sure your carry bags that you have with you have wheels because it's easy to pull them around and you will have long walks between the boarding gates. So it's always a good idea to have something that's easy to travel along or pull along, other than, a big backpack or something like that, which will hurt the shoulders. Number 15 is that if you have any jewelries or accessories that might make it more difficult for you to go through the security check, just avoid them. Or wear something that's easy to get in and get out of. Trust me, it's so easy to lose stuff during the security check-in process. I've lost my laptop once because I forgot to pick it up from the tray. Number 16 is that while at a stopover airport, make sure you check your boarding gate passes, because sometimes these changes and it might be different from what was printed on your boarding pass just before you got inside at your source airport. So there you have it, a few tips and tricks based on my experience traveling back and forth to the US and India. I hope you found it useful. And if you did, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because there's a lot more interesting stuff that I post regularly on this channel. And of course, like and share it. This is Mani Karthik, signing off.